Stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
178,000. November non-farm payrolls increased by 178,000 jobs. The unemployment rate is 4.6%. Average hourly earnings decreased 0.1%.
And there you have it. November jobs, 178,000. Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. You know, I get so frustrated when I hear these numbers. Every month it's the same thing. They don't tell the truth. First of all, the 178,000, remember, at least 40% of those jobs every month are all made up through what they call the birth-death metric system. They birth them, they death them, it's all made up. 40% are not true jobs. It's fake. That's been going on since Kennedy. Matter of fact, it was Greenspan who put that program in. So please remember that. That's all phony. It just drives you crazy. And then when you look at the numbers, they're terrible jobs. Awful jobs. Now, let's take the labor force. Our participation rate is at a record 95.1 million. 95.1 million. That's it's, I mean, can you imagine not having 95 million people not working? That's how many people aren't in our workforce. That's just insane. So what has been going on for 8 years? Boy. Now, here's the one that nobody wants to talk about. The multiple job holders hit an all-time new high today. And part-time jobs soared today. This is crazy. Multiple jobs. And that's why when I hear this kind of thing, this just drives me absolutely nuts, how the economy is getting better and stronger.
You know, if you look at the internals of the data, are very strong. Mr. Trump is inheriting a very strong economy.
Inheriting a strong economy with historic number of people having to have multiple jobs? That's strong. 95 million people are not in the workforce? That's strong. The unemployment rate is really 9%. That's the real unemployment rate, 9%. Stop listening to their fake unemployment rate. That's just crazy. And they tell us things are good. Oh, consumer confidence is rocking.
Consumer confidence rocketed to a new high.
Yeah, really. Where are they getting their information from? Auto loan balances. Get this. Jumped to $32 billion in the third quarter. We never seen anything like it. 6 million Americans have subprime auto loans. And get this. These 6 million Americans, they're delinquent by 90 days. 90 days. Credit card payments, delinquency, up big time. We are in the middle of a manufacturing recession. We are living in a consumer recession. But boy, they sure don't tell us that, do they? Consumer confidence is great. Consumer spending is great, they tell us. Well, then explain something to me. If things are so great, explain something to me. Why is it the government is considering giving $108 billion in student, forgiving, I should say, $108 billion in student loan debt? We have 1.26 trillion student loans. That's the portfolio, 1.26 trillion. 40% of those loans are delinquent. What are you, nuts? Now, do you remember when Obama promoted income-driven repayment plans? Remember that big deal? His genius, his brain only can work as a organizer, neighborhood organizer. So his brain comes up with this stupid plan. He promoted this income-driven payment plan so that it would stem the rise in all the defaulting. Can you imagine how stupid? Why don't you make sure, instead of doing that, why don't you make sure that the money made available by government for the student loan, why don't they cut it back? The biggest problem we have, they make the loans bigger. You can borrow more money. The students can keep borrowing more money. The colleges keep on raising their tuition. Every time the government, how stupid can we be? So Obama says, I'm going to figure out a way to stem all the foreclosures in these student loans. I'm going to figure out a way to stem all the student loan, debt. Help them out. So I guess we'll just turn around and forgive it. When all you have to do, it's not the interest rate. I remember they were arguing about the interest rate. It's all interest rate. Our problem with student loan debt. Our problem with the 1.26 trillion debt has nothing to do with the 6% interest rate they were talking about. It has to do with the loans are too big. And they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the colleges get bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, you go to pick out a college today, it's like going to Club Med. Here's our swimming pool over here. Here's our ice skating rink over here. And so, boom, tuitions go higher and higher and higher. That's got to stop. That's the big problem. That's how you stop. You stop the delinquencies by cutting back on the availability of the loan. Really. And you're telling us the economy's doing good. Really? Well, consumers are cutting back. I don't see Go to Dollar General. Look what the CEO of Dollar General, their numbers are terrible. They're missing their earnings because their customers aren't shopping. Look, during the presidential race, we saw spending just really dry up because people are afraid. They don't know about the economy, what's going to happen. But boy, nobody talks about that. Dollar General, whose core customer base, 65%, think of this, 65% of their customers are of low income. The household income of a Dollar General consumer is $25,000. And remember, that's more than 50% of American working force. 50% of the American working force, the income of the household is $25,000. And the CEO says, well, on the surface, things look good. But when you get into it, it's vastly different. Well, of course it's vastly different because you got these guys on CNBC and all these other programs coming out, and they're just jibber jabbers. They want you to feel good. They want you to get your confidence up so you go out and buy. And then they can justify the stock market being up 60% higher than it should be. See, they want you to think everything is good. They can justify the stock market being in a big, massive bubble. Big, massive bubble. How many times I point out to my gang members, if you take the stock market, the S&P, and you overlay a durable goods chart, you see that the stock market has leaped ahead 25% higher than the sale of durable goods. Well, how could that be? That's impossible. That's impossible. Makes no sense. We'll be right back after this break here on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. We're closing on 2016, and we're looking forward to President-elect Trump his administration, and his prosperous economy. And what a great time to invest. I have not been this excited about the stock market in years. He's going to straighten out the economy, and the market's going to be terrific. This past year, I informed Phil's gang that the big winner was going to be mining stocks, gold mining stocks, and were we right? Some gang members gain as much as 50, 60, 70%. That's right. What an exciting year this has been for gold mining. So stay tuned, because this year we think it's going to be oil. Join the gang, philsgang.com. Just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who's also been an entrepreneur all his life. He's used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who's also been an entrepreneur all his life. He's used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Do you invest in a 401k or an IRA? Did you know you could lose 30, 40, even 50% of your investments when the market crashes? It's time you take control of your investments. For over 15 years, philsgang.com's Phil Grandy has been teaching, coaching, and investing right along with all Phil's Gang members, making profits when the market is up or down. philsgang.com posts daily market updates, has a live investing class, and all material is archived. Sounds too good to be true? Why not join thousands of satisfied Phil's Gang customers today? Go to philsgang.com, philsgang.com, or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
For more information, simply go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
philsgang.com.
Money, 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 must be funny.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
You know, if you look at the internals of the data, are very strong. Mr. Trump is inheriting a very strong economy.
I got to run that. Strong economy. Go shopping to any supermarket. I know here in Sarasota, you go to these strip malls. They have the shopping, the store, the food store on one end. They always have a big bank on the other end. And you have like 30 stores in the middle. They're all empty. They're empty. They can't fill them. Small businesses are dead. Small businesses got killed. Small business is what drives this economy. It's the entrepreneur who drives this economy. They're the ones that hire the folks and pay them the best. Small business. You know, a business in your community that hires anywhere from, let's say from 20 employees less. Say from 5 to 20 employees. That's where the strong jobs come from. They're getting killed. Because why? Because of all the regulations Obama put on them. They can't have access to money. No. We talked about this yesterday with the Dodd-Frank bill. Killed. The Dodd-Frank bill was designed to kill the small business and make sure they wouldn't have access to money. Then the government comes in and says, hey, I'm going to give you 2.5%. We just spent $1 trillion more than we took in this year. We're spending $27 million more than we take in every second. $27 million a second more than they take in. Can you imagine? $27 million. Imagine if you went home and your wife said, I'm spending $27 million more than we're taking in our paycheck every week. Or every second, rather. How would you feel about that? Oh, but they just print money. And that's why our dollar is now worth 4 cents. I am so glad we got somebody new, a business person. Listen, this really got me. Listen, I think this was a terrific thing the other day. When Trump kept those jobs at Carrier, and I'm going to talk about that. And here, I'm on it now. I might as well talk about it. Listen what Obama said in June. Mr. Smart guy.
When somebody says that he's going to bring all these jobs back, well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? There's no answer to it. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have? And usually the answer is he doesn't have an answer.
Oh, really? Well, that's because you're always on the golf course. Or you're standing on some sort of ice cap measuring the size of the ice. Or you're flying around somewhere trying to stop jobs on a pipeline. Or you're studying carbon. No, you got to be job driven. See, you've never been job driven. You're a nutcase. You've been driven by putting on as many regulations as possible on a business. So you think government is the answer to everything, and when government thinks they're the answer to everything, and they know more about what we need than we do ourselves, the first thing the government does to control you is regulation. 20,000 regulations this guy put on us. 20,000 in 8 years. He's leaving now. He's putting on this month another 98, which 17 of them are going to cost us another $100 million. The 20,000 cost us $100 billion. So $100 billion, another $100 million, and it's all about controlling us. Let's control us. It's unbelievable. Guy's crazy. So what happened? This is what happened. He looks like a fool now.
As governor, I couldn't be more pleased and grateful that thanks to the initiative and the leadership of President-elect Donald Trump, the Carrier has decided to stay and grow right here in America.
Oh, but what did Obama say? Let's go back and visit Obama again, what he said in June.
When somebody says that he's going to bring all these jobs back, well, how exactly are you going to do that?
We're going to stay off the golf course. Stay off the golf course. Stop flying to Paris to talk about the environment. How about talking about the business environment? How about talking about the job environment? That's the environment we need to talk about, you dope. Oh, thank God he is leaving. And I told you, they gotta go ahead and they gotta take a big tent and put a big tent over the White House. You see them in your neighborhood, how they tent these houses? They gotta put a big tent over the White House. They gotta kill all the liberal cooties. They got all these liberal cootie bugs in there, liberal cootie bugs. We got to get rid of the liberal cootie bugs. Just infested cootie bugs all over the place, liberal cootie bugs. Person walks in, they have a dinner, he walks out, he keeps getting bit by cootie bugs. And then all of a sudden he's a liberal. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. It's just unbelievable. They got to fumigate the place. God, I mean, if you don't fumigate, how you get rid of this liberal, this liberal disease that's in the White House? But he looks like a fool now. Oh, and what did he tell us about the middle class?
I'm a warrior for the middle class.
Yeah, you're a warrior already. You scalped the middle class. That's what you did. You scalped the middle class. You scalped their jobs. You killed their jobs. I mean, it is so hard to think. Do you know the multiple job holders right now in this country? All-time high. How many people know their neighbors 3 jobs, 4 jobs? Isn't that terrible? So you got to learn. I think this economy is going to turn around. I think we're going to have great jobs again, and you're going to have the best environment to invest into the stock market again. Yes, you are, if you know what you're doing. There is nothing like the stock market. You don't have to know about the market cap and the trail PE ratio, the forward PE ratios, price to sales or price to book or profit margins, operating. You've got no idea of that. You hear these guys on CNBC in the morning talking about return on assets, return on equity. Oh, they're all smart, these guys. All smart guys. You don't need to know anything about that. You become a gang. You can join my gang. Join my gang. And we'll tell you we'll tell you when to get in using a chart. And when to get out. And that's the beautiful thing, because you can sleep at night. We'll be right back after this break and take a look at some stocks.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Phil Grandy is a career businessman who's also been an entrepreneur all his life. He's used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with the prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market. The Max Best 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the Max Best is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what Max Best does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You're probably familiar with a pillow commercial that's everywhere. It's on TV. And wherever you get the pillows, this new pillow that's out. You know what? You don't need a pillow good night's sleep. You want to make sure your investments are safe. That's where you get the good night's sleep. And that's what you get here at Phil's Gang with our technology. It's built in to show you when your stock is ready to fail, when your stock is ready to rally. That's right, it follows the money. You don't need a pillow, you need Phil's Gang. That's how you get a good night's sleep. You'll always know well in advance if the market's going to collapse or your stock. Join my gang, philsgang.com. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome to Phil's Gang. Okay. Jobs, 179,000. Take 40% from 179. Maybe my producer can give me that number off my top of my head. I can't. That's about, it's less than 100,000, I think. But anyways. We've had, look at this, accounting, bookkeeping, 18,000. 18,000 bookkeepers. Healthcare, 28,000. 28,000 healthcare. Okay. The real job number was 71,000. 71,000. And most of it is multiple. And part-time. It's all part-time jobs. Isn't that sickening? Manufacturing jobs are terrible. Dropped by 4,000 in November. 4,000. Manufacturing, remember, is in a recession. But food service, drinking places, up by 19,000. And government jobs, 22,000 government jobs. Boy, that's what we need, more government jobs. You know why there's so many government jobs? Because they have they have a lifetime job because of regulations. every time you put a regulation, they hire more government workers to make sure that we're following their regulations. That's the problem with regulations. You know that, don't you? That's just nuts. Crazy. That's why they hire so many people. Let's take a look at some stocks. I want to talk about some stocks. Look, when you're a person who is busy and you know you haven't got time or you're even afraid of the stock market, the biggest fear is the market. The biggest fear is you think, I don't have the knowledge. I don't know what return on equity means. I don't know what gross profit means. I don't know what EBITDA means. I don't know what a market cap is. You don't need that. You know what you're so safe at doing? You just need a little guidance. For example, we would have told you, if you were a gang member, we should tell our gang member, small mid-cap stocks, those are good stocks because they don't depend on revenue coming from Europe. Anytime you see the dollar going up, that means our exports go down. That means that we don't export as many goods because the dollar, we can't compete. The dollar up kills us. So what you do is you say, why don't you buy a basket of small mid-cap stocks, which do what? Those all produce, they get all their revenues from here in the United States. They don't get revenues from overseas. They don't sell anything overseas. So all you need is someone like me, when the dollar goes up, to tell you, you buy a group of small mid-cap stocks. Never mind trying to figure out which is the best one. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that. So you buy a basket, exchange traded fund, symbol IWM. Now, you put it on a chart, you're busy, you're working, and we do this for you. And the market, this IWM was red. It went from, just to give you an example, how wonderful this is, the technology. It went from $124 red, and it didn't turn green until it hit 117. So as the stock was going down, IWM, small mid-cap stocks were going down 6%. You made sure you knew not to be in it. You knew not to be in it. Isn't that great? How imagine it was green. It was green from, this is a good example. It was green from October 3rd, and it was about $123, and then it turned red. It turned red on October 10th. Isn't that nice? So you didn't lose any money. You knew to get out because it turned red. But then when it dropped, and it dropped about, as I say, about 15%, and when it dropped 15%, just think of the money you could have made while it's going down. It's so easy. But let's say you didn't do that. The beautiful thing is this. You knew not to get into it. It was green again. So here's the number. IWM, small mid-cap stocks, turned green at around $118, and it went up to $134. 118 to 134. So that's about 13% gain. You didn't need to know anything. You just need to be guided, and you learn how to use your chart so that you can spot that. And what we tell people is stay with the same 5 stocks all year. I want you to think about something. I want you to think about this. If you take all the Dow 30 stocks, and everybody, I take 10 people, and I say 10 people, all pick 5, and stay with those same 5 all year. Everybody pick 5 out of the 30. Do you know at the end of the year, if you're using the chart properly and only buy when the institutions, when the banks, the insurance companies, the pension funds, the hedge funds, the REITs, the investment advisors buy, the endowments, mutual funds buy, and you know that when it turns green, at the end of the year, even though you all had different stocks of that Dow 30, you all have the same returns. Yeah. I could go to the S&P 100 stocks, tell you all pick 5, just 5. At the end of the year, even I could have 50 people with 5 stocks, all of them different, out of the S&P 100. Your returns would be all the same. See, it's not the hot stock. It's not the stock that is doing this and doing that, and they're opening up a company here, or they're manufacturing this, or they got a new idea. That is so BS, man. That is ridiculous. That's all BS. It's all a lie. Stocks go up for one reason, when money goes in. So IWM, nice little basket. You could have bought it around $118, got out $134, and you made a 13% return. Or banks, take the banks. You don't have to worry about which bank, which is the hot bank. My gang, we're in the banks all the time. It was red for quite a while. Then it turned green. Finally, it turned green at about $19. $19. And then, think about it, turned green, went from red to green at 19. They didn't have to know anything about the banks. It was a basket of banks. And guess where it is today? $22. That's a 15% return. You didn't have to know anything about the banks. It was a basket of banks. You didn't even know which ones are in the basket. You didn't have to know anything. But here's the cool thing. I always tell my gang, as the stock is going up, if you hit 5%, take your profits. You don't let it keep going. Make sure you always take that first little 5%. Do you know at 5%, if you do 5% a month, that's over 70% return. Now, that'll never happen, but I'm trying to make a point. It's not about getting in exactly at the bottom or getting out exactly at the top. So the technology turns it to green. You can get in when you want. But here's the thing that's wonderful, because when do I get out? How many people are scared? How many people are scared? How many people are uncomfortable about stocks, about getting, it's going to crash, going to crash. And do you really think that the employment numbers that we had, the healthcare number of 28,000, the construction number of 19, the manufacturing jobs that dropped 4,000, do you think, or that the labor force, okay, the people who dropped out of the labor force, or the unemployment of the real people who have no jobs, 95 million, do you think that affects this number? Nothing affects that number. Nothing. Only one thing. Do the banks, do these people, these institutions go in and buy? So buy yourself either the S&P 500 or the banks XLF, or you can buy oil. That's another. You can buy all the oil stocks in exchange traded fund. All you got to know is, when do I get in? But the most important one, when do I get out? So let me give you the number, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. And all I ask, if you donate to St. Jude. If you're making money, please donate to St. Jude. Partners in Hope, $25. That's all we ask you. That's all we ask you to do. We get back, we're going to take a look at they call the Four Horsemen. What signal are we getting in the stock market going forward? Are we getting a wrong signal with the bond yield so high? Next, when we get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney at philsgang.com. We're closing on 2016, and we're looking forward to President-elect Trump, his administration, and his prosperous economy. And what a great time to invest. I have not been this excited about the stock market in years. He's going to straighten out the economy, and the market's going to be terrific. This past year, I informed Phil's gang that the big winner was going to be mining stocks, gold mining stocks. And were we right? Some gang members gained as much as 50, 60, 70%. That's right. What an exciting year this has been for gold mining. So stay tuned, because this year we think it's going to be oil. Join the gang, philsgang.com. Just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Graney at philsgang.com. We're closing on 2016, and we're looking forward to President-elect Trump, his administration, and his prosperous economy. And what a great time to invest. I have not been this excited about the stock market in years. He's going to straighten out the economy, and the market's going to be terrific. This past year, I've informed Phil's gang that the big winner was going to be mining stocks, gold mining stocks, and were we right? Some gang members gained as much as 50, 60, 70%. That's right. What an exciting year this has been for gold mining. So stay tuned, because this year we think it's going to be oil. Join the gang, philsgang.com. Just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil Grandy is a career businessman who's also been an entrepreneur all his life. He's used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. Welcome back. Looking for insights and investing information? Join Phil Grandy and become a Phil's Gang member today. For more information, go to philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Join my gang, 877-600-GANG. You know, we always wonder, right? When the market's going up, how much higher it can go? Will it fall? You don't have to worry about that anymore. If it's going to fall, money's got to come out for it to fall. If money comes out, we know that. We know that in advance with technology. You don't think that there's technology enough that can identify if T. Rowe Price, Bank of New York Mellon, J.P. Morgan, or the insurance companies or Dodge & Cox are pulling their money out of the bank stocks? You don't think we can find that out? Of course, the technology tells us right there. Beautiful. Look, we're getting a false signal. We're getting the signal now that the 10-year Treasury yields at 2.5%, and that's telling people, when they see that 2.5% yield, that's telling people in Europe, boy, the United States economy in the next 6 to 12 months is going to be dynamite. No, it's not. What do you think? What Trump is doing is just going to overnight turn? No. So there's a false signal. There is no better signal than the bond market to tell you what's going on. When the bond market yield goes up in normal times, that tells you the economy is going to expand for the next 6 to 12 months. You can bet on it. But when the yield is going up for the wrong reasons, when the interest rate's going up for the wrong reason, 2.5%, it's called a head fake. It's called a sucker's rally. We participate in it. Why not? Because we got backup. We know if we get in a stock and it's going up 20%, we get 10%, 20% out. We got the comfort level to know we're going to be getting out in time. But the yields used to be at one time, what a safety measure that was. You always knew what was going to happen in the economy. You know how to position yourself. No, that's a head fake. Why? Because what is driving the stock market, or what's driving the people out of the bond market and into stocks, is this fake printing money and giving to these companies at zero interest so they can just go buy their own stock. So we got a stock market that's soaring, and people from Europe look and say, "Oh boy, I better get in that market because I look at this, the yields are going up, and everybody's getting out of the bond market, getting to the stock market. I'm going to follow." How dangerous is that? But here, Phil's gang, you're not going to get caught. Think about it. They're telling us we have prosperity. Really? Dollar General says no. The CEO of Dollar General says, wait a minute. Look at my customer. My customer, their household income is $25,000 a year, the husband and wife together. And that's the same income as half of American workers. Half. That's right, half. And they're not buying. They're not buying. See, we're being told by jibber jabbers things are looking better because of that yield on a 10-year treasury, indicating an economy is doing well. It's surging. It's pushing that dollar up because of this demand. Because we've been able to sit, these jibber jabbers and Yellen been able to lie and lie for the last year and saying our economy's doing better. Our economy's doing better. Oh, we're going to raise interest rates. So over in Europe, they go, oh, they're raising rates too now. That's got to be true. I'm going to go over there, dump my euros, buy a dollar so I can buy stocks. The bond market, I say, is sending a wrong signal of prosperity. To see prosperity, look at the households who make up 50% of our household incomes here. They'll tell you things are worse, much worse now than when Obama was in office. We have higher cost of rent, higher health care costs. How can they say things are better when rent is going through the roof? Health care is going through the roof. Go to the supermarket, going through the roof. How can they lie like that when the consumer is in a recession, hitting not only Dollar General, but how about Nordstrom, Macy, J.C. Penney? Here, I'll put up Nordstrom. Let me put it up here for you. I'm going to take a look at it for you. J.P. Morgan. Now, think about this. J.P. Morgan, at $67 it was red. Right up to $74 it was red. So it told me from 67 to 74 not to buy. Now, your broker would have told you got in. That meant you got in at the worst possible high risk. But guess what? It turned green at 74. So 74 to 81. You were so safe getting in that stock because that's it. You got an 8% return between November 11th and today. 8%. Between November 11th and December 2nd. But see, we don't, but again, it doesn't matter what the economy's doing. Doesn't matter. Higher cost of rent, higher cost of health care, higher cost of staples, doesn't matter. If they want to move that market up, that stock up, the CEOs want to go and borrow money at free at zero interest and buy their own stock, take advantage of it. But when you were scared to get in because you were so scared it was going to drop and you didn't want to get caught and lose that money, you remember 1987. You remember the dot-com crash. You remember the housing crash. You're scared to death. You don't have the comfort level. The one good thing we can offer you, I will never tell you I'm going to make you rich, but I'll guarantee you have a great night's sleep. Because with technology, you're not going to get caught again. Higher cost of rent has been killing people. Look, new home sales are hurting. Refis are hurting. Home sales are lagging the population growth. What does that tell you? Let's carry this a step further. In theory, new home sales should be related to employment growth. But sales aren't growing at a rate consistent with employment growth. What does that tell you? We're being lied to. We're being lied to when we hear this.
You know, if you look at the internals of the data, are very strong.
What's he looking at? He's lying. He's lying. Sales aren't growing at the rate consistent with employment growth? What else does that have to tell you? That's because most of the new jobs don't pay enough money. They're all part-time jobs, terrible jobs, service jobs. And guess what? They don't pay enough money for workers to afford a house. And this has been a long-term trend for 8 years. And it's gotten worse. Home sales, on the basis of sales per million, full-time workers. Sales are only at 361 sales per million. What's that tell you? And now at the same time, you got the dollar going up because everybody's jumping from Europe, seeing the yield going up, the interest rates going up, dump their euros, buy dollars. Dollars are going up. Now we're really getting hurt because we can't export our goods. But nobody's thinking about it. How are we going to export our goods? We can't. So that means our economy is going to get worse, not better. See, this 0% interest rate has to stop. The Federal Reserve has to stop. The Federal Reserve is what causes economic inequality. Economic inequality. And the economic inequality in this country is terrible. The gap between the rich and the poor is terrible. This Federal Reserve, this 0% interest harms the average hard-working American. It's unbelievable. The very fact that they create money from thin air causes income inequality. This is crazy. Look, President-elect Donald Trump, he's acknowledged that while his business benefits from lower rates, he told me this when he was in Sarasota, but he realizes how bad the Federal Reserve and the zero rates are killing the economy, and he's going to do something about it. That's why this is such a great time. I've never been so enthusiastic about investing. All you need is a coach. Try it for 1 month. 1 month, $39.95. That's all. And you'll have the greatest charts in the world. And after a month, you will have such comfort level that you can sleep at night. You don't have to worry. When you go and you buy a stock and it's going up, you don't have to always say, I hope somebody's going to tell me if it's going to get out. I don't know when to get out. You never have to worry about that again. Here's the number, 877-600-GANG. Wow. Boy, I hope he gets rid of the Federal Reserve. I just hope he gets rid of them. Because that's been the worst thing in the world. But you know what's going to be nice now? When President Trump takes over, that all this lying that's been going on is not going to be tolerated. It's not going to be tolerated. So join my gang, 877-600-GANG right now. I can't tell you a better time. And there's one group of stocks I'm working on. It's called TLT. Be part of that with me. Try it for just 4 weeks. Join my gang now. philsgang.com.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.